Hey, hello everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, we sit down with an organization fighting for missing children. Plus, Ward 4 honors some local teachers with a very impressive special award. Joining us to discuss these topics and a whole lot more is, of course, the councilwoman who represents Ward 4. It's Francis Allen-Palenske. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
Great. Great to be here.
Happy almost summer. I guess it's unofficially here, you know. It's now, so let's just enjoy it. How's everything out in Ward 4 these days? Good?
Ward 4 is beautiful.
You got it well under control?
Yeah,
outstanding.
Well, park's clean, road's safe.
Yeah.
That's the way we like it.
Exactly right. We have a great show today. Very cool special guests. Before we get to that, your stomping ground is out in the great northwest area of the city. Of course, we said it's Ward 4. If you're not exactly sure where Ward 4 is located, well, don't worry. We're going to show you on the map. Basically, the west side of the city of Las Vegas, out there. Gosh, Councilwoman, you represent so many great areas from Sun City on north. And if you live in that area, everyone, or work in that area, of course, you're in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And if you're a resident out there, you're represented on the city council by none other than Francis Allen-Palenske. So, well, Councilwoman, you and I have a very special guest joining us today. She works to protect children in our community, and she advocates for those who've gone missing. She's the program manager for Nevada Child Seekers, and we're very pleased to welcome to the show Heather Doto. Heather, thank you so much for being here. It is great to have you on the program. In the way of some background, Councilwoman, this organization's been around a very long time here in Southern Nevada, doing some incredible work, and that's why we wanted to have her on the show today.
Absolutely, absolutely. Heather's got an invisible halo over her head that you can't see, doing God's work.
Absolutely. Heather, give us some perspective. Your organization, as I said, been around in Nevada for a long time. Those of us who've been here a while know the name very, very clearly. How many kids are we talking about at any given time, a day, a year in Las Vegas or in the state that are missing?
Well, in the state of Nevada, Nevada Child Seekers handles over 600 cases of missing children every year. But that doesn't include the kids whose families don't report them missing. When those reports don't come in, a lot of people think that, we have like this database with law enforcement. But we have our own, record keeping where those applications come in and we partner with law enforcement. But actually, according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, we have 8,000 children that go missing a year in the state of Nevada. 8,000
a year? Yeah. Across the whole state.
Right, exactly.
Well, Councilwoman Palenske in her messages at the end of his city council meetings will mention kids from the local area who are missing and show pictures and have a description. Councilwoman, that's a tradition we've had really on the city council for some time.
Started before me, but I thought it was important to continue.
And there never seems to be any dearth of
There's no lack of pictures to post. The sad part.
Week after week after week.
Between abduction and runaways, you're never not busy.
Right. We're the volunteers that are boots on the ground. When you get that Amber Alert on your phone, we're the team that goes out, we knock and talk, we're handing out the flyers, we're sending out the alerts, and we're working with law enforcement to make sure that kid comes home.
Yeah.
Right.
Heather, Councilwoman touched on this. Most of the kids that go missing, have they run away? Have they been abducted? All the above? Has there been some criminal aspect? Is it abducted by a parent, maybe in a family that has had a divorce, or what is kind of the typical situation?
Every situation has been different. I mean, the interesting thing is, most of us are afraid of the boogeyman that's going to, come in the white van, grab our kid and run away. And that only is going to happen about 1% of the time. Now, technically, you're going to see a lot of runaway children, but it doesn't stop there. It doesn't end there. Now with the internet, things are a lot different where we have predators who are really, luring our children to either run away, leave their homes where they're technically classified as a runaway, but maybe after that child willingly leaves their home, they may be abducted or no longer have the option to come home. So every case has its own story. We'll have parental abductions, we'll have traditional abductions. Sometimes it'll just be a kid getting lost or forgetting to tell mom and dad. But no matter what, these streets are not safe. We want to get them home as soon as possible. And even if that child is technically classified as a runaway, we don't want to look over that because there could be more going on, especially with this digital age.
Why did the child run away in the first place? Exactly. Heather, how's the success rate been when a councilwoman has those messages on the council meetings, or you see it on the news? how successful have you been in reuniting kids with families?
Well, we have a 95% success rate, so we're very, very successful.
Wow.
And you know, that's all because the community comes together and helps us out. We really wouldn't be able to do what we do without the outreach and the support that we get from, you know, city council and just, you know, getting those flyers out there. Because once we see that child who's missing, you know, you never know who's going to notice them out in the world and who's going to see them.
Especially in this day and age where everybody has a camera, everybody's got, it seems like the eyes are everywhere.
Right,
exactly.
So something as simple as just, you know, sharing our posts on social media can bring a child home.
Exactly. Heather, let me ask you this. For parents, and Councilwoman, jump in here, you may have some perspective on this too. What's the best thing we can do to protect, especially our younger children? What are some things that are must-dos that parents should be thinking about always?
Well, number one, I always say right off the bat, just have open communication with your child and give them the ability to talk to you. Have that communication, it's so important. But also be involved with all of their lives. And what I mean by that is if your child has access to the internet, the internet has access to your child.
Yeah, for sure.
And so many
two-way
parents might forget about that whole second life that these kids have. And they're just concerned about, you know, what they're doing at school, what they're doing physically.
Grades.
Right, exactly. And then so many instances, we'll see, you know, we'll have cases where that child might be sitting next to mom in the living room talking to the predator that is going to eventually victimize them. And if parents would just look at social media, look at those devices, you know, a lot of situations could have been avoided.
Can we go back to pre-device time?
Yeah, I know. I'm much safer in many ways, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Put it back in the box.
Now, I've heard Councilwoman mention this too, Heather. Talk a little bit about this. You guys provide free fingerprinting and DNA kits for families so that if a child were to go missing, the police would have something to work from.
Right. So it's really great to have these resources. If something were ever to happen, having those fingerprinting kits and DNA kits makes the process go a lot faster. Having an updated photo on those fingerprinting kits, so that way we can get that flyer out quickly. The police know what exactly they're looking for, and we can get to work to getting that child home. So we do have those fingerprinting kits and DNA kits. You can come to our office and get them. We go to a community, out in the community, we're always giving them out. It's something that you can just take home, do it yourself, keep with your records, and just something that hopefully you will never have to use, but really great to have. Right.
So Heather, how do you get one of those? How would we just reach out to the organization?
Yeah, you can just call our office, shoot us an email, whatever. You see us out in the community, we'll be having those fingerprinting kits and DNA kits.
And they're free?
Right, everything we do is free.
That's great. Well, obviously, donors supporting the organization to make that happen. Heather, let me ask you this. You know, we hear about warning signs that sometimes are ignored, regardless of what that might be. Are there warning signs that parents or maybe teachers should be paying attention to if they see
red flags?
The red flags. As Councilwoman, you hit it right on the head. What are the red flags that if you start to see these, maybe you need to have a conversation with your child or maybe take more drastic action? Yeah.
I mean, you know, withdrawal is always a bad sign. If you know, we always say, you know your baby. If your child is usually really lively, social, and all of a sudden they're just withdrawing, obviously that's something that you really want to kind of investigate. But aside from that, just pay attention to the relationships they have, especially with people who are older. Predators usually, you know, predators know that the only way to get access to children is through parents, through guardians, through the, you know, the adults who are protecting them. So just, you know, being aware of who our children are in contact with, not only in the physical world, but in the virtual world, and just paying attention to those little differences, and making sure your child knows their internet safety rules, knows how to recognize what a healthy relationship is. There's a couple different ways, I mean, depending on, you know, the situation and the age of the child, that you can really help them to keep themselves safe, and have a partnership between the parents and the child so that they're working together so that this child never goes missing.
Is there an age of children that are typically more apt to go missing than there's a run the pretty much run the...
Well, a majority of our cases are like teenagers, so we'll have, you know, ages like 13 to 17, and that's, you know, primarily, especially the online predators, human traffickers are primarily targeting those age groups. But we've had cases, 10, 11-year-olds getting involved with some pretty scary stuff online and predators online, and we've had cases as young as 4 years old getting into some pretty scary situations.
That is scary. Heather, we're running out of time. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Any other message to pass along to Councilwoman me, or
maybe a little bit of the curriculum that you do in schools that are available?
Yeah.
Real quick.
So Nevada Child Seekers has so many prevention education workshops. We do everything from healthy relationships, human trafficking prevention, internet safety, abduction prevention, and this summer we're doing a lot of self-defense, which again is free self-defense and violence resistance. The Rad Kids program, very popular and really a lot of fun. So it's a fun way, not scary, to really help your child get empowered so they can keep themselves safe.
Wow, great question, Councilwoman. Thank you so much. That was,
Watch out, coming for you.
That was a good answer there from Heather too. So very informative. So Heather, it's a pleasure having you on the program. I think Councilwoman's right. You do have a halo over your head. You're doing important work out there, and keep it up, because obviously with 8,000 missing kids a year in Nevada, yeah, we need you. So,
Thanks so much for having me.
all right. Well, thanks so much. Councilwoman, we have another guest coming, so everybody still to come. A local teacher is honored for excellence in the classroom. You'll meet her and learn more about her special honor coming from this person right after this.
Come on. All right. I know, 2 seconds. Hang on, just stand still. Stand still. 1 second. Just stand still. Okay, go. Boys, hang on, boys!
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Thanks for staying with us, everyone. The Councilwoman brought 2 special guests with her today. Let's meet our second guest right now. She's a 5th grade teacher helping students succeed. She's also setting the bar for local educators. We're excited to welcome Kirsten Barrett to the show. She's received a very special award from none other than our own Councilwoman Francis Allen-Palenske. Councilwoman, first of all, Kirsten, welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about
This is the best part of the job. Dealing with government ordinances, all very heavy, but when you can award somebody and highlight exceptional teaching, it's really the best part.
So you picked 3 honorees, and we've got the elementary school honoree with us here.
Yes. And we went to each classroom unannounced, and every nominee was nominated by the principal. So the principal's in tow, and there was a combination of why are strange people in my classroom? And in the end, all 3 were quite overwhelmed, and poor Kirsten was one of the ones that was quite overwhelmed.
So, Kirsten, I understand that you had nominated another one of your students for a separate award, and so when these folks came in, you thought that child was going to win the award, and then all of a sudden you found out you were the big winner.
Yes.
What went through your mind at that point?
I was totally overwhelmed and completely shocked. I honestly had thought that they were announcing, that they had just kept it a surprise from me too, that my student had won. And then our councilwoman said a teacher, and I thought, oh, wait, hang on.
Wait a minute, that means me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then what happened? Did you faint, or did you?
No, we had just our PTA happened to be there that week as well, because it was teacher appreciation, and so they started walking in, and my cousin teaches at my school, and so she walked in, and I thought, what is she doing here?
And I bet your students probably went crazy too.
They did.
Nuts.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. She won. That's awesome. Well, Councilwoman, you had honors at Sandra Thompson Elementary. That's where you're a teacher, but also Mulaski Junior High Middle School, and then the Northwest Tech High School, basically. So you picked a teacher working with their principals from each of those schools. Wow.
Yes. Actually, they competed amongst all Ward 4 schools, and then these were our victors, one in every grade level.
So this was even tougher competition.
Yeah, it was pretty stiff. We had a lot of nominees.
Yeah, how many do you think off the top of your head did you have total?
Probably 12 or 13 in every category. So
wow.
You really impressed everyone.
Well, tell us about yourself. How long have you been a teacher, and why elementary school versus some other grade level?
Okay. Okay. Originally, I'm from South Africa, so I taught for 4 years before moving out here, and I've just completed my 5th year teaching at Thompson, and all 5 years have been at Thompson. I think I chose elementary school because they are still at that impressionable age, and they're still, you know, the work in all different phases is amazing, but they're still at that age where they need those foundations of not just your reading and your math and your writing, but those social skills and the social emotional aspect of it, and just building those relationships with these students. And a lot of them don't have that at home, and so it's been really, I think, eye-opening and fulfilling being able to speak into those students' lives as well.
Sounds like she's in the right profession.
Yes, yes.
Getting the sense there.
No doubt.
Let me ask you this: were you a teacher in South Africa also?
Yes, I was. I was.
And so, how many years had you taught there before coming to the United States? Do you think all told?
I taught for 4 years.
4 years, and then came to the States. Yeah. So you had some experience. Were you teaching about the same age of students?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is your love then.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Can feel the passion.
Exactly. So, Councilwoman, I take it this is going to be an annual thing.
Yes.
This is the first. You're the first recipient.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Big deal. So we're going to do this each year.
Yes.
And there's a little bit of a stipend that comes with this, I understand. I'm seeing
You know
here.
what teachers need more than anything is a little discretionary income. So we went out and got some sponsors, and we were able to award each excellent teacher with $1,000.
Wow.
So there was a ginormous check that came with it too. It was great for the pictures.
You thought you were on a game show. Yes, exactly.
A little bit.
And let me ask you this, Councilwoman. The recipients of this, they can spend that money.
No strings attached.
No strings attached. Okay.
You can go to the spa. I figured most of them will probably buy school supplies.
Yeah, I sort of suspect that. Exactly. Exactly. What about you, Kirsten? Is that what you're going to do with the money?
Yeah.
Of course.
Get ready for the next school year and save a little bit for the summer to relax as well.
Exactly. Well, that sounds very good. And then, Councilwoman, I wanted to ask you too, the selection of this each year. Can people, like parents, nominate? Or is the principal going to pretty much?
It was a principal this year, and it was very orderly. And we've had discussions within the office to potentially open that up because, you know, school administrators and support staff, everybody knows or has a favorite. So we may see that expand in the future, since this was the first time we're, you know, figuring out what's the best and ironing the wrinkles. But more participation is better than less.
This is a great honor. What made you come up with this? Just you saw the need in the community, just felt like it needed to happen.
I've got kids in school. I'm a product of Nevada's public schools. It's part of my job. In my opinion, it's part of my job.
Well, it's. I think this is going to be a huge tradition that's going to go on and on and on. And I got a hunch other wards may want to try to steal this idea.
I think that's a great idea.
It's a very good one. Kirsten, let me ask you this. You know, we hear so much, often sadly, about the negative things that are going on in the classrooms here in the Clark County schools. Give us some perspective. You're a teacher. You're in there every day with the kids. Things are they really as bad as we're led to believe, or is there hope for our young people out there?
There definitely is hope for our people. I think that as teachers, we have that ability to be able to influence, you know, their time with us while they're with us. And, you know, it's about teaching them, you know, just as they need to be taught how to learn to read and write and be able to do math, they need to be taught how to interact with each other, and they need to be taught how to behave, and, you know, just all of those different aspects. And we're at a really important part of their lives where we're able to do that and help them with that.
Fifth grade, that's a real crossroads age.
It is, and they have a lot of decisions to make, and it's all about making the correct decisions that lead to the next one. And we spoke about that a lot in my classroom this year, and they got one last final pep talk at the end of the day on Monday.
Read over over the holidays, not Christmas vacation, summer vacation, pick up a book, don't just watch TV and play video games. Exactly, so good advice, kids, right there. You heard it from the teacher. And then next year, how many students were in your class? I was going to ask you that. How many did you have this
I had
past season?
33 students this year.
Wow, big classroom.
Yeah.
Is that pretty typical for teachers at the elementary level here now?
For your upper grades, they're a little bit more, towards 30, between 30, 32, 33. Your younger grades have a few less kids. They're, more along the lines of between 20 and 22. It's just your upper grades, 4th and 5th grade, that normally are a little bit higher.
Yeah.
In some schools.
I will say that Thompson's a great elementary school.
Yeah.
And I have no
Sounds
doubt
like
that
they got great teachers.
people choose to move in the area dedicated towards coming to the school. So
Where is Thompson generally, Councilwoman?
it's in the far northwest, north of the 215.
Okay.
So it's
up there.
It's up there.
Okay. And Councilwoman, tout this a little bit. This award is called the Excellence in Teaching Award, first annual. It's a $1,000 award for teachers in Ward 4. And again, kudos to you for coming up with this. Because like I say, this is gonna catch on. There's gonna be the excellence in Ward 5, 6, 7. We have a 7,
Hey.
1, 2, 3 on. So
Highlighting the best parts of Las Vegas is what we do. So you are a bright, shining star.
you are.
Thank you for everything that you do for us.
You are.
And thank you for the award. It was an honor and very not expected. So it was a great teacher appreciation week.
It turned out to be real good for Kirsten.
She's like, now I got to be on TV too. What? Oh my gosh. Can I give this back? Just kidding. We have about a minute. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Shout out to a kid.
Yeah.
Just to my class, it was a great year with my class this year. And we always say in 5th grade, we don't get to see our students unless they come back and visit us because they move on to middle school.
Yeah, middle school, yeah.
So come back and visit me.
So, well, that's very good. And best of luck to you. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your honor.
Thank you, thank you.
And Councilwoman, I think, you had a very good selection here. You and the principals of Sandra Thompson Elementary made a good choice.
No doubt about it.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And we'll have you come back maybe in the future, hear how things are going. It's a pleasure talking with you. So, Councilwoman, we're going to take one more quick break. Coming up, we're going to tell you about all the great events coming up in Ward 4, so please stay with us for that.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
Welcome back, everyone. There are some great things coming up in Ward 4, and Councilwoman Palenske and I are going to tell you about them. The first one, you might have to hustle because if you're watching this on Thursday, it's going to be like in the next hour, but it's the Southern Nevada Law Enforcement Memorial Ceremony. This is a very touching thing out at Police Memorial Park.
Yeah, we had to definitely mention it. We read all the names of fallen officers in the last 150 years, every single name. And there is a 21-gun salute, a flyover where one of the the Metro copters falls off into the missing man formation. It's a solemn event. It's something that we do every year, and we will continue to do every year.
Police Memorial Park is out there on West Cheyenne if people are trying to locate it. They're in Ward 4. Councilwoman, I know some people are going to miss this by the time they see this, but this is an annual tradition we do every year. By the way, everyone, it's at 6:30 on May 23rd. If you missed it, annually it's going to take place. And then Councilwoman, also, too, we want to mention to people that if you see those helicopters flying, that's what that's all about, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have the family members of the fallen officers there, and the mayor will be there. I believe Under Sheriff Andy Walsh will be there. So it's well attended by Metro. It's really one of their landmark events.
Yeah, it's an important thing. We don't want to forget any of those who've given their lives for our safety. So. And then, Councilwoman, you've got a busy week the following night on the 24th, May 24th. Hard to believe, everyone, this is the 80th anniversary coming up of the D-Day invasion. That'll be on June 6th, 1944. Here we are, 80 years later. And you've got a special event going on that night starting at 7, also at Police Memorial Park.
Yeah, we're busy. I might as well spend the night there.
I know, seriously, pitch a tent.
And the morning of, we go from the Police Memorial to Friday morning. We have a bunch of volunteers lined up to plant 4,080, marking the 80th anniversary, American flags in the park. And later in that evening, we're going to have a Memorial Day celebration. We have a very, very special guest, Onofrio Zakari. I don't know if you know the name. He goes by No-No.
Yep.
He is one of the few living veterans from the Omaha Beach landing.
He stormed Normandy. He was on Omaha Beach. No-No is still with us. He's still pretty sharp, too.
He is a national, state, and city treasure.
Yes, he is. And we've honored him at council in the past. I'm glad that you're continuing to honor him.
Yes.
And I'm glad that he's around for this 80th anniversary. My goodness.
And it's also kind of a send-off for him. I don't know if you know, but Honor Flights is taking him back to France. And the French government is giving him the highest medal of honor there, similar to our Congressional Medal. I'm not sure what it's called, but he's getting that in France, I think less than a month later.
Well, that's great. That's what an honor, and I'm so glad that he's still alive to receive that. And then you're going to have a movie, appropriately enough, Saving Private Ryan.
That's right. Yeah. Come on, bring your lawn chairs, learn something new, meet walking history.
Yeah, exactly. And shake No-No's hand, tell him thank you for his service.
Absolutely.
Not many World War II veterans around anymore, so that's a big deal. And then, Councilwoman, coming right up after that, man, you are busy. The following weekend, you have your Splash into Summer pool party. This is a tradition, too, everyone. This is June 1st from noon to 2 at Durango Hills Y. It's a fun event. You're going to be there, Councilwoman?
Oh,
You're
of course. We're kicking off summer big time.
All right.
Temperature's increasing. It's time to get in the pool.
You doing any like swan dives or anything like that?
I'll be with the DJ doing the raffle.
Oh, okay, very wise. See, she's so smart. That's a good call. So that's a really fun event.
It is.
And so glad that that's going on, everybody. And it's free to get in that day, is it not, Councilwoman?
Yeah.
So free to get in to the Durango Hills YMCA. That again is going to start at 2 o'clock that day. It's going to be really hot that weekend from what I'm hearing too, so it'll be a good day to get to the pool.
Absolutely. It's got the slides.
Yeah,
the
fun.
fancy slides that all the kids love.
Exactly. And then finally, on June 7th, the week after that, another movie in the park, Jurassic World, making a second appearance. This is going to be at Floydland Park at Tule Springs. Again, this is going to be June 7th at 7 in the evening. Again, free.
Really backed by popular demand. We did it in Providence. The kids, overwhelming turnout. And we have someone from UNLV that comes, a paleontologist. And there's a little fossil excavation that they do with the paleontologist. The paleontologist, Dr. Aubrey, she was a rock star. Those kids swarmed her like bees to honey and asked every question in the world. It was a great learning experience.
That's awesome. So it's fun movie and then educational too. Look at you. Well, so not going to miss an opportunity. Kids learn something while we're out here.
Yeah, we got to put some veggies in the meal too somehow.
Exactly. So smart. Well, Councilwoman, that's really good stuff coming up, and I'm glad we had a chance to mention all of that. And I'm sorry that we're about out of time here.
We could go on.
I want to tell everybody out there, we always want to hear from you. So if there's something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Palenske, you can find her at 702-229-6405 or send her an email. Her address is fpalenske@lasvegasnevada.gov. You can also visit the Ward 4 website or subscribe to the Councilwoman's newsletter, which I'll tell you how to do in just a moment, and it has something to do with that QR code that's right there. So no worries about that. Councilwoman, always a pleasure. Great job. Great having you on the show. We'll see you back in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 4, and looking forward.
Always.
See you then. And everyone, don't miss our next show beginning on June 13th with Ward 6 Councilwoman Nancy Bruni. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Also, watch for our QR code that I mentioned after the show to subscribe to the newsletter we were talking about. And don't forget, you can also catch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.